Sometimes less is more. So today, as I come before you all, I know this group typically meets to just talk about how we can uplift the community, how we can just try and make it a better environment, make it a happier environment. And today, I'm going to pinpoint one single thing that we can all do, and it is probably by far the easiest thing we can do without having to go and spend money, without having to spend a whole lot of extra time. No extra time, really. It can be done anywhere, doing whatever with whoever. So, there's one thing that is really just such a tiny gesture, yet goes a long way, is just simply smiling. And I know that we think, oh, it's just a smile. It might not even do that much. But you never know what kind of day people are having. And just simply having a smile on your face, maybe not even having a smile just 24/7. It's kind of weird to walk around smiling all the time, but maybe let's say you make eye contact with someone in the hallway at school or in the grocery aisle or at work. Just giving a quick little smile, maybe a nod or a wave, just that it gives a sense of connection. And like I said, you might not know what kind of day anyone is having. You may not know what kind of life anyone has lived if it's been a stranger or something. So you might not know how much that one person could really use that smile. And it really just it gives a sense of connection and saying, I see you, I notice you, and I'm happy to see you. Even if you have no clue who this person is, just having that smile on your face really just gives people a sense of, okay, someone's happy. And you can think of the phrase, a smile is contagious. We've all heard it. Whether we all believe it or not, we've all have probably heard it at some point or another. And this is a really cool perspective because when you think of something being contagious, you think it's bad. Normally we put contagious with a sickness. When you think of some sickness being contagious, you want to stay away from it because even just being in that vicinity of someone who's sick, just being around them, you're at risk of also catching that sickness. We don't want that. But if you think of just that positivity and that smile as the sickness and having it be just contagious, I mean, that's an awesome thing. Because if I can make these people that are around me happy and smile just from being in my presence alone, I mean, that's awesome. It makes you feel better as a person, seeing that you can bring others joy. It makes others, a lot happier because they're, when we see these people that are happy, there is actually a neurological thing that goes on behind that, and that's when your brain subconsciously submits these things called mirror neurons. And when we see someone smile at us, just from across the hall, you know, it triggers something in our brain that says we need to have a sense of connection and have that same response back to them. And doing so, that releases endorphins and dopamine. And in a way, that'll, even if they're just faking it for a second, even if they're just giving you a simple smile back to try and have that connection of, okay, it's good to see you too. Sometimes that 2 seconds of smiling, that 2 seconds of happiness, that might be the only 2 seconds of happiness in their day. And we often don't think about that because as people, sadly, we don't think enough about what is this complete stranger in the grocery store feeling today. How much of their day did they spend happy? But that's one of those things that we might not ever know. We can't, life is too busy to just stop and have a full conversation and just talk to people 24/7, no matter where you are. There's too many people and there's not enough time in our day. But simply just giving that smile, that goes so far, so much further than we can just imagine off the top of our heads. So I challenge you, as we go about these next few weeks or until the next time that y'all meet, try your best to just give everyone a little smile. Try and be contagious with your happiness. So, thank you all for listening to me. This has been fun, and y'all have a blessed day.